The rematch between Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk is today, and I just want to go over some of my thoughts about the fight. And at the end of this video, I'm going to give my official predictions on what I think is going to happen. So let's start with Tyson Fury on what he did good in the first fight and what he did bad. Now, obviously, for this fight to even be competitive, Tyson Fury would have had to had some type of jab or lead hand probe or something to do with his lead hand, which is something that he's definitely going to do in the rematch and maybe even do it a little bit more, especially because it set up the punch that gave Tyson Fury the most success in the whole fight, that being an uppercut. He would throw it to the body and to the head and even hurt Usyk at one point for the first time in Usyk's career. I think there's a good chance we see Tyson Fury use that punch even more in the rematch, considering the amount of success he had with that punch. Now, considering Tyson Fury's game plan, movement was something he obviously needed and needed to do well to have a lot of success. Now, something I think Tyson Fury could do better in the rematch, which is always make Usyk pay for trying to come into range. He did a good job at this with the uppercut, but it just wasn't consistent enough. And there was a lot of times Tyson Fury would just try and use a probe or his lead hand to keep Usyk off, but it isn't enough when Usyk doesn't have to respect that probe. I think the perfect punch for Tyson Fury to use is a lead hook and a check hook. As Usyk comes into range, Tyson Fury could definitely throw off more left hooks and check hooks to get Usyk off balance, and then so he could circle out so he has more space to move around the ring. He could even punish Usyk for being off balance and out of position. Something I think a lot of people were disappointed about is Tyson Fury being distracted. There was plenty of times Tyson Fury would showboat with his hands behind his back and just showing off to the crowd, which means his full focus is not on the fight. But to the lead up to the rematch, he seems a lot more focused, especially the last few days. Getting on to my last point about Tyson Fury is he needs less cornermen in his corner. I'm pretty sure he had 4 or 5 people shouting advice in his corner. You only need 2, maybe 3 people in your corner. You need a coach, a cutman, and maybe somebody to hold the spit bucket. That's all you need. Because if you have 2, 3 different people giving you advice on the fight, there's no clear instruction. Now let's get on to Alexander Usyk's good and bad things he did in the fight. Now, there's not really much to talk about here in terms of his footwork. Usyk is known for his great footwork, so it was kind of obvious this was one of the things he was going to do really good in the fight. I think one of the best things Usyk did do is not give Tyson Fury any space. He was constantly in his face, in range, constant pressure. And as we saw in the first fight, that's what kind of broke Tyson Fury, plus the knockdown. So I expect in the rematch for Usyk to still be on the front foot and Fury to still be on the back foot. There's probably a lot of people expecting for Tyson Fury to come in heavier and try and come forwards more. But I think if he comes in heavier and he's slower, he will get stopped within 6 rounds. Now, the weigh-ins already happened and Tyson Fury came in at 281 pounds. But you have to consider the amount of clothes he was wearing. I think he had on a leather jacket, a jacket underneath that, and a t-shirt. You also have to think about he doesn't wear normal size clothes. He is 6'9", 270 pounds. So his clothes are going to weigh a lot more than the average person's are. My guess is that he's either the same weight or a little bit lighter. I don't think coming in heavier will be smart at all. In the first fight, Usyk had a perfect game plan. Go forward, use the 1-2 to the body, hard shots to the body, power jab to the body, cross to the body, and tire Fury down after rounds and rounds. Constant pressure, constantly on him, and take his height and reach advantage away from him. I don't really see any things Usyk should change or should do different, but I do see something maybe that he can improve on. Now, this is kind of the same with both guys, but their shot selection was kind of predictable. Fury's jab with his uppercut either to the head or to the body. Maybe sometimes he'll extend the combo to a hook to the body. And with Usyk at long range, it was the jab to the body, the cross to the body, the left hook to the head, and the jab to the head. That's really all they were throwing. In the first fight, Usyk definitely had more of an arsenal of punches he was throwing. But I think what was more predictable for Tyson Fury than anything is Alexander Usyk's entries into range. Nearly every uppercut or big shot Tyson Fury landed in that whole fight was when Usyk was coming into range. Uppercut to the body, uppercut to the head, and a check hook. So there's a lot of variables in who's going to win this fight, specifically on Tyson Fury's side since he lost. Is he going to be more aggressive? Is he going to come in heavier? Is he going to fight the exact same way? Now, the safe bet is to pick Alexander Usyk again to win, and it still really is a 50-50 fight, because even though Tyson Fury lost, in the rematches he's had in his career, he's done extremely well in the second fight than compared to the first fight. Now, I'm going to pick Tyson Fury to win this one, but as I've said in this video already, if he comes in heavier, he's going to get knocked out. I think there's only a few more things he could change and he would win the fight, especially since it was extremely close on the judges' scorecards. I think he should add a good left hook or a check hook, as I said earlier in the video. I think that would get Usyk a lot of problems. And for Usyk, I really don't see anything he can do different other than have a better entry. But I honestly think this fight will come down to the smallest of details. Unless, of course, somebody was to get knocked out. I think it's going to be a really close fight again. And I do think somebody will get knocked down in this fight, whether it's Fury or Usyk. I could really see a knockdown. But I'll stop rambling on. My final prediction is Fury by knockout or decision, and if it's a decision, it's by 1 or 2 points. I rarely see it being close if it goes to a decision.